Do you know what's really unfolding behind closed doors right now? If you watch this full report, you may see the Ukraine war in a completely different way. Stay till the end, because the choices being made today could reshape Europe, global security, and the future of war itself. Are we watching the beginning of peace in Ukraine, or the first warning signs of a much bigger war? Could the decisions being made right now quietly push the world toward another global conflict? For months now, the world has been repeating one word over and over again: peace. Politicians talk about it. Diplomats promise, headlines demand it. Yet despite all of that, the Ukraine war is not shrinking. In fact, it's getting wider, deeper, and far more dangerous. And that contradiction is at the heart of everything happening right now. But what really caused this sudden urgency for peace? If you've been following this conflict closely, you've probably felt the tension rise. On one side, the United States says it has a plan. On another, President Zelensky insists that only the Ukrainian people can decide their future. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is openly warning that the world is drifting toward world war. And at the same time, NATO is telling Europe to prepare, not for peace, but for war. So what is actually going on here? Let's break down what's happening, step by step. At the center of this moment is a controversial American proposal. According to reports, Washington is floating the idea of turning Ukraine's Donbas region into a so-called free economic zone. On paper, it sounds technical, almost harmless, but in reality, it could change the entire war. Think of Donbas as the heart of the conflict. It's in eastern Ukraine, and nearly 80% of it is currently under Russian control. This is the territory Russia has been fighting over since 2014. Thousands of lives have been lost, entire cities reduced to rubble. Now here's the shocking part. The U.S. proposal reportedly suggests that Kyiv should withdraw completely from Donbas, leave the region, step back, and allow it to become a buffer zone, neither fully Ukrainian nor officially Russian. But who controls this zone? That's the problem. The proposal doesn't clearly say. Can you imagine how Ukrainians reacted when they heard this? For Ukraine, Donbas isn't just land, it's sovereignty. It's history. It's blood spilled by soldiers and civilians alike. Asking Ukraine to walk away from it is not a small request. It's political poison. And yet, this idea fits perfectly with Russia's long-term goals. Moscow has wanted Donbas for more than a decade. It fought for it. It occupied. And now, under this proposal, it could get what it wants without officially winning the war. Suddenly, peace starts to look very different depending on where you stand. So how does President Zelensky respond to something like this? No leader wants to go down in history as the person who gave away national territory. Zelensky knows that agreeing outright would be devastating politically, but at the same time, saying a flat no to Washington, especially to Donald Trump, is equally dangerous. So Zelensky chooses a third path. He proposes a referendum. Let the people decide. It's a clever move. A referendum gives Zelensky political cover. It shifts responsibility to the public. And just as importantly, it buys time that Ukraine desperately needs. But here's where the pressure ramps up. According to Zelensky himself, the Trump administration wants a full understanding of the peace plan by Christmas. That's just days away. The message from Washington is clear: move fast. And there's more. Trump is also pushing for elections in Ukraine. But elections during wartime are nearly impossible. Zelensky says if elections are to happen, there must first be a ceasefire, at least during campaigning and voting. And for that, he argues, the United States must talk directly with Russia. Do you see how complicated this is becoming? While diplomats negotiate, soldiers continue to die. And that brings us to one of the most alarming moments yet. Donald Trump, the man who once promised to end the war in 24 hours, is now issuing stark warnings. He says the conflict is killing 25,000 people a month, mostly soldiers, and he fears where this is all headed. Trump openly warns that conflicts like this don't end quietly. They escalate, they spread, and if the world keeps playing games, as he puts it, it could lead to a third world war. That's not the language of optimism. That's the language of frustration. Trump is frustrated with Ukraine, with Europe, with endless meetings, with slow progress. And on one point, even his critics agree. This war is grinding on, killing thousands, while front lines barely move. But while Trump wants closure, his NATO allies are sounding the alarm, and their warning is chilling. NATO's new Secretary General Mark Rutte says Russia is behaving now exactly as it did before invading Ukraine in 2022, probing borders, testing responses, looking for weakness. His message is blunt: Europe could be next. He says if Ukraine falls, Russia won't stop. It will test NATO itself, and that means the alliance must shift into a wartime mindset. Think about that for a moment. Europe is now openly discussing things many believe were history: conscription, ammunition shortages, military production, and timelines for a potential large-scale war within 5 years. This isn't theoretical anymore. As Rutte puts it, conflict is no longer far away. It's at Europe's door. War has returned to the continent, and preparation is no longer optional. So why is this war escalating when everyone claims to want peace? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Everyone wants peace, but not the same peace. The United States wants closure, especially before the war becomes an election disaster. Europe wants security and an end to Russian expansion. Ukraine wants justice, sovereignty, and guarantees it will never be invaded again. And Russia wants territory it couldn't fully win on the battlefield. These visions don't match. Maps in people's heads are different, and until they align, peace remains just a word. So tonight, the real question isn't whether talks are happening. They are. The real question is far more unsettled. Are we witnessing the start of a genuine peace process, or the early shape of a much bigger war? As always, in moments like these, only time will tell. If this report helped you understand what's really happening, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. These videos take serious research and are made to keep you informed. Stay aware, and we'll see you in the next update.